Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, baby, here am I. Will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Of Cars and Us. My name is Dennis Tate, and for the next 30 minutes we're sitting in the studio, and this is a great show. It's going to be a great show because this is a promotional show but dedicated to everybody out there. A lot of my viewers, majority of them are all drag racers. So I have two friends of mine that are actually drag racing promoters, and we're going to talk about the concept, the new concept, the newest concept that's out there, 100-foot drag racing. So with me all the way from New Jersey, Atlantic City, is Jay EASTGATE, and Randy Murray from Suffolk County out there in the Babylon area. I don't know exactly what town, but anyway, he's a Long Island guy. But anyway, they traveled all the way up here tonight to give us a demonstration on the 100-foot drag racing and what they've done so far. So, gentlemen, thanks for coming up. It's a long ride, I know, but it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having us. Thank you very much, Dennis.
We're gonna give you all the time is yours to promote your upcoming event, which is November 10th and 11th. We'll talk about that after too. Sure. But anyway, the concept, which is great, this 100-foot drag racing. Right. We do have a little videotape, so we'll go to that after. Sure. But first of all, let me get a little background on you, Jay.
Well, I'm not new to promoting. I promoted a stock car track in the late 70s, early 80s. Up in Sullivan County. It's a little quarter-mile paved oval. It was called Sullivan County Speedway, actually White Lake Speedway at the time when we did it. And in fact, this is where Randy and I met. So we've known each other for quite a number of years. Promoted custom car shows up at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, the Kingston Army, Newburgh Army, some outdoor shows also. So I'm not new to the promotional game. I've also promoted a couple of motocross events. But this 100-foot drag racing concept I've had in the back of my mind for 15 years, and this past year is when I've been diligently working on it, and it came to being a couple weeks ago.
What took you so long to bring it to fruition after 15 years?
Well, I came up with this idea about 15 years ago when I had the racetrack. I had actually Sullivan County Speedway twice, and I was looking for a second event, and I always thought that drag racing as a spectator was most fun to watch right at the starting line with the burnouts,
sure,
and the whole shots when the cars launch. And I wanted a second use for my track. And so I brought a friend of mine down, Howie Conklin, who's also a racer, and he had a 69 Chevelle with a big block cam, headers, intakes, slicks. And he brought the car down and tried it out. Big ear-to-ear grip. He thought this was the greatest thing. And he was actually banging third gear at the finish line.
Wow.
The thing that stopped us from doing this was that track had houses all the way around, right? And I mean, you could throw rocks at the houses. All those people were not at home Saturday nights. They were in my stands for free, watching the races. Those same people were going to go to the town supervisor and stop me from doing this drag racing.
Well, that's
So,
par for the course.
all right, and other things happened throughout my life, but this past year I've done a little soul searching, and I always loved promoting, and this is something I decided to pursue. And like I said, we put some things together, and it came to being 2 weeks ago. So, and
Well, that's how I heard of it. We'll get into that too,
Sure.
because I'll talk about my buddy that called me. But Randy, you got a big background out there in Suffolk County, being a machinist, and you do line boring, and you build engines, and you've been around all the big guys. We spoke off camera. You've been around Jack Merkel. You're friends with Jack Merkel, and we spoke earlier about Joel Rosen at Baldwin.
Well, it's
So,
it's a
let's
small
hear your
island.
background.
It's a small island. You can't help but run into these people in different places, and you become friends. You have to respect these guys, and when you show them some respect, they'll show you some respect. So we get along pretty well. I started with the automobile racing back in the '60s. I was a kid. The teenagers let me scrub out their wheel wells, and
Right.
in exchange, they'd take me to Freeport Speedway and National Speedway, and you'd get to go see the races. And then it just grew on me. Through the years, I worked at a place called Square Speed and Sport in Floral Park. They go back to the '50s. A fellow named Al Bose, he raced midgets, or he owned midgets way back when. And then Mick Betts Racing Engines in Copeg, they got a big name in stock car racing. We did work for a couple of drag races that held regional titles, and later on worked for Lab Machine. He goes back a long way. So it's a small community on Long Island. Eventually I ended up opening up my own shop. We just ran out of time going to all of these places and helping them out, and more business was coming my way. So I bought my own machines and opened my own place.
Now that's Randy's Performance Center.
Right. It's in
Now, what town is that?
It's in West Babylon.
West Babylon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a small area over there, but we do pretty much anything that you would need to have done on an engine in-house, balancing and milling and boring and whatever you need to have done. But
And your prices are reasonable.
yeah, oh yeah. More important than that, though, the most fun I've had in a long time is working with Jay promoting these 100-foot drag races. When he came to me with a description of this 100-foot drag race thing, the first words out of my mouth are you crazy? Same thing everybody says, 100 feet? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And it just grew from there, and it just grew on us. And we did a demonstration down in Suffolk County. The guys went wild. They just didn't know what they were going to do with themselves. We actually were a day away from promoting a race in the Nassau Coliseum. Would have
I heard
been
that.
huge. And the Nassau Coliseum just killed us.
They did.
Right.
And what was the reason?
We had last minute problems. Somebody decided last minute that we needed all of their help to run our show out in the parking lot. All I wanted to do was rent the parking lot. That's all I needed. I didn't need them. No, their rental fee, the bottom line went from $3,500 to $24,600 overnight.
Wow.
And we had to pull the plug on it, and there was just no talking. They wouldn't come out and even talk to me on this.
No, well, that's
they wouldn't even
cost
give me a reason.
prohibitive at that point.
Yeah, and we couldn't do it.
That's
and
a shame.
we
It
had,
really, truly
we
is.
probably had 400 cars coming, and now you're talking to somebody that knows real numbers. I'm not pulling this out of a hat.
no, I
these are real numbers, and getting back to the show that we did this demonstration race at. Everybody you talk about this, they cannot comprehend 100 feet as a viable distance. But we went to a show at the Sterling Performance in Hauppauge, and we went behind the building where the show was. We set up the clocks. Nobody even knew we were there. And we brought a car down. He made his noise and his pass, and a couple people took a peek. And 5 minutes later, another car came and made his noise, and a few more people took a peek. Within a half hour, we had a line of cars, and all the people that were coming to the show
This is a
weren't
car
at the
show.
This is
Yeah,
a car show. Nobody was at the show. Everybody was in the back of the building with us. All you saw were smiles. the guys were taking it seriously. They're looking at the reaction times and all that, because our timing equipment is regular timing equipment, reaction time, the speed,
Mile an hour,
everything. And and we did nothing to the track. We just swept it, and that was it. And we only ran single lane. In fact, we were toying with 132 foot as a distance rather than the 100 foot, but that using 100 foot as an alternate distance if 132 feet wasn't safe. And this, where a spot where we were, 100 foot was about all we could do. And we did this for about an hour, and we looked at each other and said 100 foot's fine. Yeah. It was. I mean, the guys are getting up 47, 48, and 49 miles per hour in 100 feet, not hooking up.
Now, what's unique about this is that this is a traveling drag race. You can go anywhere.
It's a racetrack in a box.
That's what it
is.
is.
There you go, in a van.
In a van.
Everything in a van, right?
Goes in a little white van, and off we go.
Yeah. Right.
All the equipment, banners, cones, computers.
Everything.
Everything.
Yep.
Jay, about how many guys do you have on the staff? I mean, there's you and Randy, obviously.
Well, we have the Long Island contingent is 5 of us really, and probably tack on a couple of names, but of course Randy, Jeff, and Bob Shaw have been very important to us. Ronnie Shea, very important. And then since we've been doing this promotion in Connecticut, I've got our little Connecticut contingent, Lee and Smith and his wife Renee. Lee did our little videos there.
Right.
His father Les and his wife Vicky have been helping out, and so it's not a huge staff, but
it doesn't take a lot to run it.
That was my question.
No.
Because of the facility that we run it at, or we ran it at, they provided the concessions, the bathrooms,
ticket people,
Right.
the ticket
stuff like
people.
that,
Right.
So that helped a bunch
I
also.
meant just from the mechanical end of it, the operating end of it. That's
We could do it. We could do it with probably 6 people. We
Right.
We need
good.
somebody on the starting line, somebody to run the computer.
Right.
And that's about what we need to actually race.
And who does the announcing?
Well, we're actually looking for an announcer because I got stuck with that the last time.
I thought it was your voice.
Yeah, it was.
Uh-huh.
But I'd rather be running around, putting
Right.
out little fires and stuff.
Right.
But
You did well.
yeah, so we're looking for an announcer. Dennis, how do you look good behind the mic?
Well, I'd give it a try.
We'll be interviewing the 10th and 11th.
When we come up the 10th or the 11th, whatever, and of course weather.
Submit
permitting,
a resume, would appreciate it. So, yeah.
But it's a great concept. I got a call from my friend Mark up there in Connecticut, up there in Milford, and he said, "You going up? Did you hear about it?" Well, long story short, I didn't hear about it, so I didn't know anything about it. But I knew that they were all enthused about it, and so he said, "I'm going to call you." So anyway, he did, and we touched base, and he said he had to leave early because his son had to go to work. He had his old Corvette. We talked about this on the phone. He had his old Corvette up there, and he had a blast. He made a few passes with Ronnie with his Roadster, the one with the flathead with
Right.
the yard
Yeah,
on it.
right, yes.
Ronnie,
Pretty
San
car.
Giovanni.
Real pretty
He
car.
belongs to Connecticut Street Rides, and so they went head to head. And they had a blast. They had a lot of fun. He said it was great. In fact, two good friends of mine, which I haven't seen in a couple of years. He didn't bring his original Corvette out, but he brought out his. It's a diesel truck he's got.
Oh,
right.
And he raced that, and they had a great time. So the feedback I got was terrific. And I said, you know what? I said, is there a phone number? Let me get a hold of these guys. Maybe I can help them out, promote them a little bit, And so that's how we got to call you, and touch base. But I think it's a great concept, and the idea here is so that the viewers that are watching, not only will they come, but maybe whoever else is watching, if they're going to do a car show.
Right.
Or any event,
Right.
you guys are available. And if there's blacktop, okay, and there's a decent parking lot, you only need, it's 100 feet straight away. But
Yeah, we need 300 to 400 feet.
About
300 to 400 feet, and
To be
more,
safe.
Yeah,
Right,
more is
right.
better.
Right.
But it's not. Here's the thing: people understand that we've been getting this. Are you gonna? The rumor mill's already started that we're building an 1/8 mile and a quarter mile.
Right.
We
Of
set the
course.
door on that. A quarter mile track takes 4,000 feet. People don't understand that, and we're staying with the 100-foot format. And most people don't understand the 100-foot until they see it. And that was one of the benefits of running that demo race in Hauppauge and doing this event at the Speedwell 2 weeks ago. Once the people saw it, they got it. And the biggest thing, and I'm repeating myself, but the biggest thing is all the smiles, all the people coming over. Thanks for doing this. This is a great concept. We had a ball. And one of the advantages, of course, is everything runs quicker. We had some guys, the guy with the Lightning, the 29.
We had a fellow. We ran the show was Friday night and Saturday.
Right.
Friday night we had a fellow with a Lightning that ran. He made 30 passes. He couldn't come back on Saturday because they were going to give him a promotion. He was in the military, and he had to go for his promotion in the military.
Sure.
He almost was going to blow it off. He had so much fun that he was saying, you know, if I could go, I could get an excuse. I could do, you know, listen, guy shook his hand.
Yeah.
Thanks for serving.
Right.
Thanks for doing what you do for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had two fellas with Mazda RX-7s that raced until one of them ran out of gas.
Yeah.
He just ran the car
terrific.
out of fuel. That's how much fun these guys were having.
And he wasn't the only one that had that problem either. It was
We had another fella that had to stop because he wouldn't even made it to the gas station.
Right.
He said if he made
Right.
one more pass.
we had it was and anything can run in this and have anybody with any car can run and have a good time. We had two guys had one had the Ford Crown Victoria, the other one had a Buick Roadmaster wagon, and these guys were just going at it constantly, coming back, matching themselves.
They beat
swapping
each other
lanes.
to death.
Yeah, and
all
the
night.
guy with the Crown Victoria was the one that had to stop racing. He was running out of gas.
Right.
So that was more than one person was having a problem because they got to run so many times. You know, so
Well, that's terrific because
Yeah.
that's like the old days. You know, when you went to a drag strip, you got 2, 3, sometimes 4 time trials. You know,
Right.
Nowadays, forget about it. The guys
You
are
get
telling
2
me,
hours. 2 hours before you get a run.
$45, and you're lucky you get one time trial out
Right.
of
Right.
any
Right.
of the tracks. You know,
Right.
so it's rough.
$45. We're not charging enough.
But
right. We have to kick up the price again.
That's it.
we'll get into that. But the lights, I want to do a little demonstration
Sure.
on lights because as we talked before, this is drag racing in a van. And basically, this is your equipment right here. Sure. So I'm
The
gonna.
other thing we're missing, we didn't hook up the computer and the lights and the E-beams. And the reason why we did that is we're inside of a room and the electric eyes are infrared and they probably
they'll
bounce off these
bounce off.
walls
Right, I
and it
understand.
just messes up. So
But basically, we can show them how the lights work.
Right.
I mean, everybody that's out there that is a drag racer understands it. But for those viewers that really have not been to a track and really, are not that familiar, I want to give them some sort of a demonstration here with
Sure.
these lights.
Right.
So I'm
Well,
gonna-
what you're going to see here is this light will do a
I'm
self-test.
going to back up here and plug them in.
there you go.
This light will do a self-test, and what it's doing is it's showing you that the bulbs are all working and that the tree is hooked correctly to the computer by the way that the lights come on from right to left, back and
Right.
forth.
And there they are. And then bang.
There it
straight.
is.
There, it works. And Dennis is trying this again. He wants to see it again. And again, and this is a regular tree, and
Give it one more shot.
there we go. And the software that we have, it allows us to do multiple types of lights. The standard tree, index racing, bracket racing, a pro tree. We can choose a 4/10 or a 5/10 pro tree. It allows us to do anything. The time slips, we
you
have
have-
printed time
right,
slips.
okay.
And the I believe they're printed out to 4 places. Reaction time is definitely out to 4 places, and I think all the time is out to 4 places too on the printing. It's an accurate system, and it gives us the mile per hour. And
We did have some problems with it at the first race. I guess teething pains, just getting started.
Sure. Right.
We worked hard on it and got the problem straightened out. So anybody that those problems might have affected, we need to apologize to you. But we're working hard to do better. We really are.
I'll tell you what, we were fighting the computer system throughout, and again, just like Randy said, teething pains. And it was the first real test with this system. But it really didn't seem to matter to these people. For a couple of people, yeah, but for the most part, everyone they just had a great time because they just got to beat on their car, not
Race
have to
their
worry about
friends.
looking in the mirror to see if the man was behind
What
them.
we're going to do is now we're going to let the viewers see some actual footage. As they say, we're going to go to the videotape and we're going to actually see a little bit. You guys can comment on it if you like. We have some audio as well, but we have about a minute or so, and we'll take a look. Joey will set it up on a monitor and cue it up, and we'll see some of this
There we go.
100-foot drag
I
racing.
think this snow had a big block and a blower in it, and he was having some problems hooking up for sure. In fact, as time got on, he was learning to finesse coming off the line. Now, this is a Duster coming up. Most of the cars were having problems hooking up, not this Duster. He ran the fastest times. He ran a 2 flat, it was 2.0017, and he ran a 199.
He's the one that ran,
right.
Okay.
And the car I just went across at Malibu was actually just the body. Everything else was Buick with the V6 and the turbo and everything.
If you see how fast we can make these passes, we waited for those cars to go by, but we can get the pairs up there and get them through. It goes so fast that guys can make multiple runs, one after another, till they get tired. We had guys that were just tired of
It appears
racing.
that way, yeah.
Right.
It appears that way.
It got to a point just wait a minute, we'll talk about this Ford here. Is it a 460, Randy, in this one?
460 with a C6. This fella put this truck together. Him and his wife, I guess they're real Ford nuts, and they just wanted to try it out. They showed up on Friday. They came back on Saturday.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, they had a great time.
We're going to see a quad coming up with a
Right.
55 Chevrolet. There
Right.
it is.
This quad was one of the fastest vehicles. Right? He was running low twos, 218 is what
And what,
number I remember.
and what kind of miles per hour?
High 40s.
No kidding.
Yeah, 46, 47 miles per hour.
So now,
In 100 feet.
now we'll see him. We'll see him run. We'll see him kind of shut down a little bit. But the question I have is, after that 60, after that 100 feet, it starts to, starts to make a turn.
Right. Well, there's over.
It's kind of deceptive.
Right.
It's kind of deceptive. Yeah, there was.
Because I'm concerned about the shutdown.
There's absolutely, it's not an issue.
There's 400 feet to the fence.
There is.
Yeah,
Okay.
we measured it out, and we could have moved the starting line back. We chose to put it there.
Right.
It gave us more than enough room for a shutdown. We felt was safe.
The video is deceiving.